Hello everyone. So I just picked up. I want to do something on the wealth side. So I picked up the fourth house, which happens to be our fourth house, which is happens to be our wealth. Okay, where we buy houses, cars, comfy places like home, mother, things like that. So once we see this as a base thing for us, right? It is like. It's asset, right? So we when you have a house, people give you respect. Okay, you have to tell them whether it's a own house or a rented house. Even if it's a small house, if it's a own house, you have got a different image about yourself. If you have a rented one, you still have a. They would like to know what kind of house you live in. Okay, that defines the comfort level and your status in the society. Okay, so fourth house plays a very important role because whatever said and done, at the end of the day you have to go and rest there. Okay, and it happens to be the place where the mother is identified. Okay, so that it plays its own important role in this one. Okay, so let's see how, okay, how this particular house plays a very crucial role in our life, whether it be asset, whether be it anything else in this. Okay, so let me pick up a chart. Okay, let me pick up a chart. In the pictures I will have a chart. Let's represent it. Okay, one by one we'll represent it. Let's go back. Okay, so I hope you can see the chart. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to check out the fourth house. So if I take the natural zodiac, okay, so this will be our first house, right? This will be our first house, right? And the fourth house is what we are talking today. So the fourth house is your mother's house, your assets, your higher educations, and things like that. Okay, even second house is the education. Okay, but when you do something very good, it becomes asset to you. Fourth house. Okay, so that's how you see the fourth house. Okay, so now fourth house happens to be your nourishing area. Okay, it is the mother's breast portion of it where you started feeding, and that's the nourishment, right? And the kind of comfort you get from the mother is phenomenally different from anything you feel at very good. The base, we are as if we are comfortable at home. So this fourth house is what it indicates you are comfortable at home. Okay. So when fourth house has got a lot of other things because it is deeply it is a root, right? It is a root mother. So that was the she had the womb where you were born. So that fourth house represents that mother womb. So it is there. When you talk about the assets, home, as I said earlier, it's a very important thing in every human being's life, or in fact every animal's life. Fourth house has got its own importance, be it a bird, be it anything, animal, it needs a place to stay. Okay, it is a shelter place, and that plays a very important role in the chart. Okay, fourth house is such important one. Now, when you look at the fourth house, okay, it's from the fourth house hand. So let's look at the uh, for the trikonas that we call. Okay, if I say this is one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5, right? Trikona is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the ninth house, right? So these are the trikona's house. So if I draw a line, I should probably draw it here, from here to here, and here to. So these are the trikona's house, right? Trikona. These are the trikona's place. Okay. Now if trikonas are there, now if I draw a parallel, okay, from the natal chart. So if this is 1, right, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, right, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. right? So we know. So when you see this, fifth is Purva Punya, right? Fifth is your Purva Punya. When you trick the Trikona, it is the natural eighth house. You getting it? This is the eighth house. So there is a combination of, when we say your Purva Punya and ancestral property, it comes from here. Okay. So now the 9 and 10, 12. This also gets combined here. Okay, here 1 and 4. Okay, so now if you look at it, now if somebody says ancestral property, it comes into picture. Okay, 1, 5, 9 comes. 9 and 12 comes from your father. Father becomes that. Your luck becomes that. Okay. So when do you get this answer? See, this fourth house, when do you get property? You get this fourth house property with your own efforts. So this is own efforts. Fourth house is property assert with own efforts. Okay. This is with your own. You have done it and you earned that property. You bought a car. Okay. You bought something. All this thing is your own effort that you got. Okay. When it comes to this, it is your ancestral property. When do you normally get your ancestral property? After a loss. And that is what is this 12th house indicating. So you either have to lose the parents or grandparents or something else like that to get this property. So this when you get, when at the loss you get this. Okay. Or you might go abroad. 12th house might show you abroad and you might get this property. Okay. So this is how you get the properties. Now when you look at the fourth house, okay, fourth house. So why does that it has got importance? Because it gives you that comfort feeling. Okay, it gives you that comfort, saying that I need to go home. I need to rest. I have to see my mother. I have to go and spend time with my family. Okay, all these things comes from there. Okay, so that is what is for. Now this is idealistically a good. That is what we expected. But many people, what they do is they don't feel like going home. Okay, for various reasons. Okay, so what would be their reason? Okay, why would they not go home? What would be their reason? So if supposing this is the lagna, okay, in this case lagna, such as Saturn happens to be the owner of this thing house, right? Owner of this is Saturn, right? Saturn is the owner of this house. Fourth house from this is Venus, right? This is Venus is the fourth house. Now imagine this Venus is in the 12th house. Okay. So directly this fourth house Lord is sitting in the 12th. It's very clearly saying your fourth house is your comfort level is gone. Venus is comfort, right? Gives you good sofa, good bed, good thing. So we coming here, fourth house coming here means you lost that. So Sugha Bhoga Sthana, that is lost, right? For that's comfy, right? That is lost. So the Venus tells you that probably you'll have one good dress because Venus also, and that the dress will get either destroyed or something will happen that you will not be able to wear. Okay, I have seen like couple of charts where the almar is full of silk sarees, but when they want to wear it, it will be torn into pieces. It will be toned. Not that they are cheap; they are very expensive, but it will be torn, and they will have to mend it and then wear it. Okay, that's the kind of feel it will give you. Okay, then what will happen? 16, for the mother, comfort of the mother, they will be sacrificing their life. Getting it? For the comfort of their mother, this is the fourth house, right? 12th house, is they will be sacrificing their life. So, which are the houses that this is the 12th house, right? If this is the first house, and this will be the 12th house. So, which are the houses that we should not have this Venus, that the 12th, sorry, fourth house Lord, and we should not have them in the Sixth, okay, that is this. This one 6, 8, okay, 10 to a certain extent. I will write in small letter, 10 to a very great extent, and 12th. We should not have in this houses. We should not have in these houses. We should not have this thing. So what will happen if it is there? It will lose its capability. So the comfort level will not come. Okay. So when it comes to some people, when it is in 12, they won't like to be at home. I have seen them. They the moment they go out, they are very good. The moment they come home, they become sick. They don't come. Some comfort is missing. All those things will be there. And in such cases, what will happen is mother can be an instigating factor for their unhappiness. Okay, there will be there. This is what when it comes to sixth house again, you will have the sickness, fighting. That mode all will come. When it goes to eight, they will be having fear. Okay, comfort, that their fear comfort will go off. No, that kind of fears and things will come. Okay. So, because why I'm saying this comfort and fear will come is because fourth house is the mind. Okay, here it is the mind. The mind, what it will do? Mind, what it will do is when it is connected to the eighth and fifth, you will get this hallucination, fear. You get into the tantric substance. You get into that, spirits. All those things will come because fifth and eighth, right? Mind. You'll try to move into that. All the hidden things you'll try to move into that. So these challenges will come. Okay, and when they're connected, mind is connected to 5 and 9. Okay, and this 12th house is there for your natal lagna. So what will happen is it will actually create a very disturbing lifestyle. So that is why when we are getting married, we always should not only focus on getting the chart matched. Okay, marriages are made on heaven. Okay, so we are not supposed to sit and more worry about matching. Okay, I have seen cases where manglik, so the girl will not get married. Okay, manglik, so the girl will not get married. So how is it correct? Okay, so we don't know. Okay, then the same girl will get married and she will live happily. So whenever you are seeing a chart, especially for marriage, you should see if the mindset is good for both of them. Okay, you can't just give your daughter or son into marriage because of this money matters. Okay, or your family's pride, all those things, or you're sticking to your caste and all those things, because the mind is the one which is going to float. Okay, so if the mind is not set, that marriage is not going to be happy. Okay, so if the mind is set, the marriage is going to be happy, and everybody goes through a lot of challenge. And what will happen is these people will face the challenge and still live together and come out victorious. Okay, this is what is the mindset, and this mindset we should not be there, or no, rather we, the parents, should not be there in between in deciding that. Okay, so because our job as parents, okay, stops from training them. Okay, so we have enough time, right? 20-25 years given to us to train them into being a good person. So if we don't train them properly, or if we have trained them properly, okay, about thinking freedom, about thinking individually, doing their work, studying, maybe it a male or a female, they are doing all the, especially for the female, you give all the happiness and everything till then. And when it comes to the marriage, everybody wants to decide on how, where she should get married. Okay, and little is worried about her mindset, and nobody even bothers. Okay, they say my mama's son is there, so you get married. My brother's this thing is there, so he is a very rich person, so he is working in this thing. Even though he's bald like me, you have to get married. Now, how is it fair? It's not fair, right? So mind is very important. That is why fourth house is very, 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 very important. Okay, this fourth house. So mind should be there. So boy and the girl, they should agree to get. After that only you can see the chart. Okay, it may be if there's a, we can work it out. Okay, there are difficult times we can say. So I have seen charts within my relatives and others where they don't match at all. Okay, they don't match at all. Chart does not, but they're living happily. They're going through troubles. I can see that the trouble, but they match and they go through the struggle. Okay, because they are their mind is set. Okay, so they are able to fight the odds and they are come out victorious. Okay, so there are handicaps who have got married. There are nice chaps who have got married. The height difference. One, the girl is taller than the boy. That I have seen. I have seen foreigners getting married. All these things are mindset, and they live very happily. Okay, they are not matched. They're kundalis. Okay, when we see the kundali, they don't match. One shows super difficult. One shows absolutely beautiful. So absolutely beautiful carries on, but both our mindset is beautifully set. Okay, so that's how mind is very very important, and it is literal. If you read the literally the literatures, it says first to the mind. Mind has to set. Then you can match. Then we can manage. Okay, see, if you know is going to be without a job or money for X amount of days. Okay, say about maybe 10 years he won't earn. That's how his chart proves. And after that he will make money. So the 10 years is what you have to support. Okay, in whatever way you can. After 10 years he will start making, he will support the rest of the people. Okay, so that's how you have to take, or maybe the first 2 years might be very tough because chart will show that. Okay, and those 2 periods is what we have to understand. Okay, and the most important thing that we have to do in any kind of a marriage, even if you go to the office, or because these are all minds, right? If you go to the office to work. Okay, so when you go to that place, office, so 10th house, if you notice, in that's your office, right? Karmasthana. It's fourth, opposite to the fourth, seventh house, seventh from the fourth. 10th, immediate this thing is fourth. Okay. 10th is immediate thing is fourth. From here, if you see the seventh is 10th. That means what? When you're going into the office, or going for a work, going for a business, which is your karmasthana, when you're doing that, you have to be very careful with your mindset. Okay, you can't be behaving odd. Correct? You can't be behaving odd. So, what is the suggestion that I give to most of the people, including I do that? Okay, so whenever we join any company, okay, we wait for 3 months. Okay, we don't get involved into the office politics, and we just watch. We don't have to prove ourselves. Okay, 3 months is the time given us for to understand the environment. So by the 3 months, end of the 3 months time, what will happen is you will become aware about the various political points or the hotspots in the office. So there will be some guy who will be very nice to you, but he'll be digging behind you. And any comment that you make can be manipulated and can reach the right person at the wrong time, and you will be in trouble. And things like that all will. So if you can keep quiet for 3 months, okay, what will happen is you will know the nuances and the good things and the bad things about your working environment. Once you know the working environment, then you know how to behave so that you sustain in that job. Okay, so the mindset, so 10th house, fourth. Okay, so that is how you set your mindset. Now, if you look at the family when you get married, why is that? Again, if you keep quiet for one about say about 3 months or 4 months, if you're able to keep quiet for 3 months, don't listen to your wife's side or mother-in-law side, mother's side, or sisters, father, nothing. Don't listen to anybody. Okay, what you do is you just listen and don't react. Just listen. Your wife says something else, just listen, don't react. So what will happen by this time is, so you might be married and firstly, and you might try to act. You want to act spontaneously, and you want to make her feel comfortable. I agree with that, but what will happen is in that thing you will cross your limits, and that will lead to a lot of family troubles because you are the focus. Okay, when in this society, male is the focus, especially when you marry and come. So when you are under the focus, every action that you take will have equal effect later on. So if you can keep quiet, don't open, don't talk in favor of them, or okay, you just say, okay, let me see. Let me see. It's okay, let me see. That's how you have to, somehow you have to make that time 3 months. In 3 months' time, what will happen is everybody will be exhausted with their points to convince you. Okay, everybody will be exhausted with the points to convince you. Once they don't have a points to convince you, you are absolutely clear who is materialistic, who is non-materialistic. Okay, who is materialistic, and you go with the non-materialistic people, not with the materialistic decisions. Okay, sometimes it so happens that boys' parents are like that, materialist. Sometimes so happens the girls' parents are like that. Sometimes the girl itself is like the boy is like that. Everybody. So from your perspective, be it a female or a male, you take a decision to keep quiet for next 3 months after the marriage, and you assess the situation. Then see who is materialistically bounded, who is non-materialistically bounded. If materialistically bounded, you know what to do because you don't have to much worry about it. If non-materialistically bounded, then that is where you can go and help yourself, because that is a place where you will get solace. Okay, so this is from the mental point of it, from the job as well as from the, and who is this 10th house generally? This is the mother-in-law's house. 10th house is the mother-in-law. Job, not only job, 10th house, because it is the, if this is your 7th is your spouse, okay? If 7th happens to be your spouse, then from here, this 10 happens to be his mother, okay, or her mother, okay, spouse's mother, which is the 4th house from here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4th house from here. So now if you see what I said, it matches, right? So if you keep quiet and if you handle it, and what if these planets are, if for this person, your spouse, this is Saturn, right? Saturn is in the wrong house. That is in 6, 8, 10, or 12. What if it is there? 10 I'm putting it because stressful, right? Mother-in-law is stressful, right? Office is stressful, never there. So stress. 6, 8, 10, 12. So if the 6, 8, 10, 12, if you are there, and these houses are there, so it is going to be difficult for the individual. Okay, it is going to be difficult for the individual because the 4th house is so comfort level. For the comfort level, there will be a lot of loans, legal issues, and other things will come. Diseases and all those things can come. 8th also, long time diseases might come in for the comfort, for not giving you the comfort. Okay, you can get into litigation problem with your ancestral properties and all those things. And at 10th, you will get into the karma sthana, right? The karma, that's why I said keep mouth closed for 3 months after marriage or joining any new job. Karma sthana, what it will do is it is your karma. So if you do good, it will give you response to good. But it's stressful to follow karma, right? To be ethical is very difficult. Okay, so that is what is stressful, karma sthana. 12th obviously is loss. So whatever you do will go into a loss if it is in 12th house. So 4th house has got all these capabilities. Okay. So when you want to, supposing you want to sell a house, okay, when you want to sell it, which are things you should have to see. Let me draw one more chart. Let me put it. Okay. So when you want to sell a house, okay, so which are the houses you? This is the 4th house, right? This is the 4th house. I'm just taking the Kalapurusha. I'm not taking anything else. Just for our study. So 4th house. So which is the 12th house to is? This is 3rd house is the 12th to it, right? This is the 4th and this is the 12th to it is the 3rd house, right? So third. So now what is the Trikonas where we saw? 1, right? From here, when you talk about this is 1, this is 5, and this is 9, right? So when you want to sell the house, what you have to do? You have to take the 1/3. So what is previous to this? 5th ka? So when you say this will be 1, let me change the color of it so it makes sense. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 4, 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, right? So 9, 12, 11, 12. So now now if you say, if I connect this, if you want to sell it, that means I have to connect 3, correct? This is the 12th house, right? So I have to take 3, right? And for this, for the 5th house, this will be the 4th house, right? Or the from here the 4th. So this I have to take this house, right? This will be the from from here it will be the 4th house, right? 5, 4, or and here you take this house, right? Right, correct. So this 3 matches, you will be able to sell the house and make a profit, make a profit. Why this 3 has to match? Now you see the first house, the third house for the for the 4th house, the asset you want to sell, if you want to get low, it has to be in the 3rd one. And the 7th, you need somebody as a partner to sell to somebody, client. You have to read 7th house, you have to sell. Okay, and what you have to gain the asset, right? You have to say 4th house. Then at the 8th house, which is the 11th, you have to get the profit. Okay, so only when this 3 matches and the Sabukti matches, you will be able to sell the property. Okay, for a margin. Whether it is margin or not, whichever way it is a profit to you because you wanted to sell that property for certain purpose. And whatever is the gain, you have already set a mind. Okay, that's a gain. You just want to get rid of a property, so you will, that's a gain for you. Okay, you might not get the margins and profit for that. Profits are individual specific. Okay, so when you see 3rd, 4th and 8th is connected, and that is where you sell. So when we go into the ALP concept, the same, almost the same will come. Only that if you want to sell the house from the ALP, we will check the 4th, because ALP talks about the timing, current timing. Okay, Akshaya Lagna Padhati talks about the current timing. So when the current timing, when it comes, ALP we will see, when we see ALP, the current timing is what we will take. Okay, because we don't look at the Dasa, we don't have to look at the Dasa Bhuktis because ALP is already built in with the Dasa Bhukti concept. So timing is happens through as soon as the Lagna falls in a certain house, we will find out that. So supposing the Lagna is falling in this house, okay, in the Aries, okay. Supposing it is falling here. So okay, if I can, if I in the ALP, if ALP is falling here, right? ALP is falling. This is, and I say it is falling. ALP, we have to give the nakshatra padas. Okay, so I'm saying Bharani. Okay, Bharani. Bharani first pada. Okay, so the moment I say Bharani first pada, my D9 will fall here. Okay, my D9 will fall here. Okay, so what I will do? Okay, what I will do? I will just see the 4th house from here. Okay, the 4th house from here, if it happens to be Cancer. Cancer, the moon is the Lord. I will just see where the moon is. If moon is in the 5, 6, 10, 12, obviously it's not going to be profitable. So it has to be in the other houses where it is comfortable to sell. Okay, this is LP concept. Let's not go into that, into too much of details, because that will be creating a lot of other confusion. But I'm just bringing up the topic. Okay, that is LP concept. Okay. So now when you want to see the Dasa Bhuktis, okay, when you want to look at the Dasa Bhuktis, okay, let me remove this and keep it here. When you want to look at the Dasa Bhuktis, then your Dasa Bhukti has to match for the sale to happen. Okay, so Moon Mahadasa, okay, in this case, Moon Mahadasa should be there, okay, or Mars's Mahadasa should be there, or Guru's Mahadasa should be there, and or the Sabdasa should match. Something like that. When it matches and when the planets are in favorable to that, you'll be able to sell the house. Okay, so 4th house has got when you want to sell this thing. So when you come to spiritual life, okay, when you come to spiritual life, again what happens is mind is the one. Okay, mind is the one, and our soul is supposed to be sitting in the heart. Okay, that's why heart is called prana kalasham. Okay, the heart. So that is why when Amavasya comes, we think if the body is weak, we think that he will die. Okay, if it does not die, we wait for the next Amavasya and say, let the Amavasya come. Okay. So 15 days is the gap. So that is, and soul, where is the soul? Soul is the fifth house, right? We all know. But where does it go sit? It goes and sits into the heart. And if you notice the chart, okay, and if you notice the chart, if you put a chart like this, okay, if you take a chart and put like this, and we draw, okay, so let me wipe off this, okay, we don't need this, okay, then we have chart. So fourth house is what is the mind, right? From here, there is a one, there is a four, there is a mind, there is moon, and this is mother and mind, okay. So when you want to do spiritual thing, this house gets activated, and this is where your heart is. Okay, so moon sits. So the first breath, as soon as you take, the soul from here goes and sits into the heart. Okay, goes and sits into the heart. And once it sits into that, then you have to, if you do spiritual level of this thing, okay, you want to pray. There are some concepts, okay, Sushamunadi, they say this tingle, that pingle, all those things, concepts are there which you can read from other places and understand. Okay, generally what they say is this one will, as you meditate and as you experience this thing, this will go to the head portion of it. Okay, it will go to the head portion of this. Okay, pineal gland is what will go. Once it reaches there, then you have everything. Okay, the bliss they call it, right? They have it is individual experience. Okay, and this is how the samadhis are formed, I believe. Okay, the great sages who become samadhi, okay, they make jiva samadhis, right? So they do this. They are able to reach there, and they are able to control their senses through the mind, and they are able to do. So now, if you notice it, the one more beautiful part about it, here Mars gets debilitated, right? And Jupiter gets exalted. Why? Because here you don't need any physical energy. Okay, you don't need any physical energy to do meditation. So Mars gets down, okay, and Jupiter, which needs the mental capability or brain's capability, that goes up. So that is why meditation also can give you that moksha kind of a thing. Moksha is the 12th house, right? Moksha is the 12th house. This is the 12th house. If I take this as the first house, now if you connect, okay, if I say this is 1, 5, 9, I still get into that moksha mode. Okay, and this moksha, if I say okay, yes, that's it. Okay, if I say moksha, that means, is it somebody can teach you? I don't think so. Anybody can teach you about moksha. It is individual's own experience. People can teach you about the eighth house, occult science, okay, creating what you call black magic, all those things, eighth house, people can teach you. Fourth house also they can teach you. Meditation, they can say this chakra is moving from here, okay, all those things people can teach. Okay, they will say this is your heart chakra, this is all those things people can teach. But moksha, nobody can teach. It is individual's own experience. Okay, so to achieve this, you have to work on your own. Nobody else can help you out. This is one of the reasons. Okay, this is one of the reasons why moksha is not achieved by everybody, because it is a individual's own responsibility or method of learning to come or to get into mind. So when you take samadhi, okay, when people take samadhi, what literally happens is he has not died. It's just that he has stopped. So where is the next life? You're getting it? He has not died. He just stopped. Okay, that's all. He is there. That's all. That's the end of it. So that's moksha. He does not have a second life, because only when you die, there is opportunity for you to come back. Okay, even if you look at the histories and the literatures, so they will give you heaven for some time until you exhaust your all the karmas. Then again you will come back to the life cycle. You get moksha only when you don't come back to the life cycle. You don't even go to hell, not to heaven, to any place. You just go to the supreme power. Okay, so that is what is moksha, and that is what these people achieve. The Jiva Samadhi people will. So Jiva Samadhi people, you can call them. That is why people go and pray there, because they know they are alive there. And who can help better than a alive person? So that alive person helps you out. When you go and pray to them, they help you out. Okay, that's the power of moksha. Okay, so moksha is something. So we saw certain things today on the fourth house. Okay, we saw the mother, we saw the property. Maybe it's a car or something like that. We saw how 6, 8, 10, 12 positioning of it also gives you tough time for the person. So some people might not like to come home at all. They will say, no, in Tamil, they say, ஐயோ வீட்டுக்கு போனோமா அப்படின்னா, what is that? Oh my God, I have to go home. Why do I have to go home? Okay. So some people are there, they are outside, they are very happy. The moment they come home, they okay. They were fully out. This especially happens with kids. Outside they'll be playing. And some of the husbands are like that, wives are that. When you take them out, they are very happy. When they want to come home, they don't like to be there. So when you pick up their chart and when you look at their planets, you will find the fourth house lord somewhere connected to the 6, 8, 10 houses, and that will give you the tough time. So now you understood the job concept, why you should keep your mouth shut, and for the first 3 months to understand why you should keep mouth shut for the after the marriage for next 3 months. If you want the marriage to succeed, you have to keep your mouth shut so that you understand. It's not that nobody is forcing you. It is more of you understanding the situation and then taking appropriate call after you have understood the whole situation. You are mature enough to take a call. Okay, I'm not saying just because you're aged, you're mature. I'm not saying that way. I'm saying mentally you should be capable of taking a call. Okay, so that is where your independence comes in, and that comes in patiently waiting for, because people will shout at you. They'll say, oh, what all I'm saying, you're not here. That girl is doing that. They'll say, your husband is doing like this. I don't like. Your mother-in-law will do that. Father-in-law will create troubles. Everybody, uncles can create troubles. Friends can create troubles. So, but all these things, after a couple of months, you should be able to assess and take the appropriate step. Okay, so that's it from me for the fourth house. I hope it gave a insight into the fourth house. Okay, if you have any further questions, do comment, and let's see how I can give appropriate answers to your questions that you might have. It's a very vast subject. Jyotisham is a very vast subject. The moment I start going deeper and deeper and deeper into that, it gives a lot of other infos. Okay, like if you want to be at the home and happy from morning to evening, you want to be happy at home. So this planetary should be there. If it is not there, then at least you come to know what should you do to be happy. Okay, that's the beauty part of it. You also come to know what you do. See, not every time we have everything in our life. Okay, you might be rich, poor. That is not every time we'll have everything. So we learn to live with it. Okay, we learn to live with and we live happily. Okay, so that is what is fourth house. How to live with happily in the fourth house. Fourth house makes the person happy, contented. That you have to learn, and you can shoot out questions in the comments or something like that. Or you can. What I will do is I will try to see if there is a video needed more on this. We can make it. We can make videos on marriage matching, and office problems, psychologically getting disturbed, why you're getting rejected in the office, why there is no improvement in the office, why family is getting into such a disturbing mode. Things like that happens with everybody, right? So somebody takes the credit for what you did, things like that. So your chart tells that. So basically, fourth house has got a very important role in our social life and status, how we handle that. Okay, so I show you both the ways, materialistic as well as the spiritual part of it also is shown. There's a lot more to it that we will discuss as time comes back. Okay, thank you. Namaskaram. Have a great day.